So we'll call this membership meeting of IVPA to order. We have a quorum because we have members here. There is several board members on the call. We have Jill Stetz, we have Grant Jacobson, Christy Cornelius, Paul Damaris, myself, and then we have our staff. We have Pamela Stevenson as executive director and Darty Kumar, who is her assistant. And I'll note that we haven't had a member meeting in a number of years, I think since 21. And so at that time, we had about 397 members, according to the PowerPoint I reviewed. I've been in this role how long now, Pam? About a year and a half or year and a quarter, something like that.
Year and a quarter. Mhm.
Okay. And, I was asked to do it. So, uh, I was kind of honored to take charge of things. And this is kind of where we are. So we don't have our treasurer recently resigned for personal reasons. So I'm going to have Pam deliver a brief treasurer's report so you know where we stand financially. So Pam, at your leisure.
So our total income for the year to date through July 31st is 224,000. Of that, 61,000 are dues, 20,000 is sponsorship, and 140,000 is teleradiology. Our cash on hand is 80,000, which is notable that is remarkably different than a year ago. A year ago, our cash on hand was on a really good time. It was around 10,000. So we've had a great year. Our accounts payable and accounts receivable are minimal and they're current. Our teleradiology income doubled since 2024. And our net profit on the teleradiology is 19.97. It usually runs right around 20% because our goal with the teleradiology is to make enough of a profit to have it sustainable, but to keep the prices low so that members can use it to compete in their area and to increase their profitability to be able to use the money for other things. Our significant expenses are our staff, which is year to date 42,000, advertising and marketing 20,000, 20.5. Events and exhibits, we have started to exhibit like we just did AVMA at 5.5 thousand. And then our cost of goods for teleradiology is 111.5 thousand. The only two liabilities we have a loan from Dr. Bonnie Bragdon, a startup loan, and we owe 12,000 on that. We have paid down 5,000 of it with the plan to pay it off this year. And then we also have a loan from Dr. Patricia Hill for 5,000. We have no other debts, no other liabilities. Our bookkeeping and accounting is fairly simple, fortunately. And that's it. Unless there's are there any questions?
All right, then. Thank you, Pam. So I guess I'll just introduce myself. For those of you who don't know me, I'm a small animal veterinarian from Central Connecticut. I recently completed a term as AVMA's treasurer, so I got to sit on their board, and I have a lot of relationships there that have led to a great deal of support for this organization. Originally, I thought I'd just be on the board, but somehow I ended up as president. And so I set two goals for myself. One was to grow our membership to the point where we qualify for admission into the AVMA House of Delegates, because there's really two kinds of benefits to this organization. And the way I frame it when I speak to groups about it is, we have both practical benefits, programs like teleradiology and some of the other things that Pam mentioned and will mention, and then the emotional reason for the organization. We want to promote ownership and preserve it as a viable way to practice in one's professional life, and entrepreneurship is part of that. And I think both of those things have kind of gotten a bad name, in a recent generation of graduates. I think the tide on that is turning. Um, but those are the emotional benefits. You never have as much autonomy as you have when you own your practice and decide how you want to practice and where and in what way. And when you want your time off, once you've put the time into developing a practice, you have a lot of freedom to do all sorts of things, which you don't have when you're an associate of a large corporate practice. And not only that, your own growth as a professional um, is only when you're in your own practice. It's only limited by your willingness to educate yourself on any given area of practice, and that freedom is not as readily available, I believe, in the national practices. You kind of, as an associate, you get shunted into an exam room and doing a lot of repetitive, mundane things, and there are other pressures that come up as well. And so I think a satisfying professional and personal life is more easily available when you're an owner. And those are the kinds of things I say when I talk to groups about this. As far as what's been accomplished in the last year and a quarter, we revised our bylaws to be more open. We're not against, even an associate in a corporate practice may share sympathies that we have regarding private practice, independent practice ownership by veterinarians. And we don't want to exclude those people because ultimately they may be future owners. And so we've encouraged that. We've held regular board meetings every month since I've been in this role, and our board pretty much shows up 100% of the time, which I'm really pleased about, and I appreciate all their confidence and work in a variety of ways throughout this year. So we've made some good progress on our membership goals. I want to say we had about 310 or 15 members, down from what may have been a high of around 421. We're at around 637. Pam will report that, or maybe it'll come up during membership, but I think we're 635 or 637 now. In order to qualify for AVMA House of Delegates, we need to reach a number of about 1,100. So we're slightly more than halfway there, or somewhat more than halfway there. You need 1% of AVMA's membership. They have 108,000 members now. So technically we need 1,008, but we're aiming for 1,100 to make sure we have a cushion, because there's always individuals who choose not to renew or renew late. And when the time comes for us to be under that scrutiny, I want to know that we're in the right spot. Pam reported the financials to you. I think we're in a healthy place, and I've encouraged the board, and they've agreed to pay Bonnie back the loan that she gave this organization to get it started. I think that's a fair thing to do. She put a lot of work into the vision of all this, and we're trying to take it to the next level. And as membership in organizations is not a given. Not everyone is interested in joining. They may be interested more in the tangible benefits, and that's okay. And we're trying to provide as much of that as we can. Over at AVMA, I can tell you they really want us to succeed and to get there. They need a voice that can say things that others can't say, similar to what I've been saying about what independent ownership means to the individual and to the profession of veterinary medicine. Clients do not like going to a practice and seeing a different veterinarian every time, especially when people move on as quickly as they do, or are not willing to work on days when people are there. And I don't need to tell you that. How your clients feel about you. They're not interested in transactions. They're interested in relationships. And we, as independent veterinarians, that's always been our bread and butter: building relationships with clients, knowing them, knowing their pets, and seeing them over multiple generations of families. So we have a secret weapon, if you will, that the national practices can never have. And personally, I was with Pam at AVMA. I'm going to be with another board member at the Connecticut VMA. I believe, Grant, you're going to be at the Iowa VMA. And so many of us, wherever we are, we're trying to go to the state associations and encourage membership. We'll have tables at these meetings. And then another thing that's come up recently, I was approached by a congresswoman from Washington State regarding monopolistic practices in veterinary medicine, and they were just interested in interviewing me and hearing what I had to say, much like what I'm saying to you now. And then I heard recently from an organization called the American Economic Liberties Project that is holding an anti-monopoly summit in Washington for the second or third year in a row. And it tends to be attended by members of Congress and people who represent other industries unrelated to veterinary medicine. So I've been asked to serve on a panel where apparently it's going to be live as well, available on Zoom, in which I'm going to talk about, what the impact on the public and on veterinary medicine has been by the acquisition and consolidation in our industry, and particularly that which has been backed by private equity. This is a nonpartisan organization. People who attend are from both sides of the aisle in various capacities. So I'm looking forward to that. It's a little intimidating. The audience will be large and also widely televised or available on the internet, I guess, streamed, I should say. So that'll be an interesting thing that's coming up for me in September. And other than that, I'm happy to answer any questions about what we're doing and why from anybody. Well, not a peep. Okay. um, Justin, are you here or no? Uh,
He, he
he,
is not.
he's not. So we have a committee called Level the Playing Field, and they are charged with evaluating offers from a variety of vendors who want to be our sponsors and making sure that when those offers are brought to the board, they're valid offers, they're beneficial to membership, and that they don't harm our reputation in any way. And a number of programs have been brought forth, and the board evaluates those on a regular basis. And I don't know how far I should go on this. If anyone's interested, but you can look on our website and learn, all the things that are available that can save you money in practice, depending on your willingness to become involved. Maybe Pam, I'll rely on you. Is there anything in particular you think I should add or you could add?
Well, I have them in my executive director's report. I think Darty's sending it out tomorrow. We're launching a PSI, a program with PSI. We have a program with MWI. We also just launched a pretty amazing program with Amergy, which is medical waste disposal of all kinds, and pretty amazing savings for members. And then I have the link in here for all the rest of the benefits.
Good.
But I'll cover the rest when when it's my turn.
Okay, yeah, sorry. It's hard to, I guess we're jumping back and forth, but all right. Christy, could you comment briefly on what our presentation committee's been doing?
Sure. Thank you so much for having me, and glad to be here. We are currently focused on ways in developing a community around the IVPA, and we have tried some different things, and we have been pretty flexible and you know you- trying to figure out how to tackle this is challenging for everybody. But in the end, what we have gotten into is a groove of having our monthly happy hours that Grant is also participates. And that so far has been going well for us. And it gives us a chance to come together and to, kind of figure out what our members need and what they're looking for, and ways that being an independent veterinarian, how we go about, and how that affects us, day to day, and just some of the things that we have available in terms of resources and network, that we can, give to those participants, and give them a better chance of, becoming visible, and also, speaking their truth and giving them a chance to introduce themselves, and just for us to work better together. And so far, so good on that. We're going to be focusing on more of the members, and we'll have some members on some of those chats, and we get to know them a little bit better too as well. And so we've been working on a ton. I'm finishing up on some podcasts, and we've been doing that now, I think now for almost 2 years. And so we are going to take a break from the podcasting, and we're going to kind of reconvene and figure out if there's another way we want to reach out to, the members of the IVPA. But yeah, we've been very flexible and open to suggestions, and just trying to do our best to see what's going to be valuable for the members. So other than that, that's it. Thank you.
Any questions for Christine? No, we got a very silent group. So, okay. Thank you, Christy. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Dr. Helfat's not with us, so I'll just comment. We formed a membership committee this year, and they've accomplished three things in the main. One is that we've created a new brochure for IVPA for distribution at meetings, and it just details all the various programs we have and discusses why people should join. Something for people to take in their hand. It has a QR code because we know that many younger people don't want a piece of paper, so they'll take a photograph of it and keep it with them. The other things that membership has done is revise the talking points, the elevator speech and the talking points for meetings, so that when we are trying to recruit members, we are non-judgmental. And by that, I guess what I mean by that is, it's while we believe that independent practice is a superior form of exercising your profession, we want to be cautious not to insult or alienate younger veterinarians who are choosing to work for a corporate practice, particularly early in their careers. They have all this debt. Some of these practices pay exorbitant salaries and signing bonuses and moving expenses. And, there's no benefit to us in making people feel bad or guilty about choices they've had to make for their lives. We want to be all positive, encouraging the idea of ownership and entrepreneurship. So that's what that's really all about. And then, not strictly with the membership committee, but the entire board of directors is involved in this. When each month, when the membership list comes out, if people choose not to renew, a member of the board will contact each and every one of those people. We'll call, we'll email, and then ultimately we send them a handwritten note, um, encouraging them to stay a member. We have a goal, we have a purpose, and we need the numbers. And I would say that to all of you as well. We appreciate each and every one of you who are willing to be a member with the greater goal of being able to have a voice. It's not just AVMA that needs us to speak for independent practice, but we also need AVMA as a venue to promote independent practice, contact with students through SAVMA, and speaking up in the House of Delegates when things come up that may, let's say, adversely affect us and maybe not adversely affect the national practices. There is no one voice for that now. And the AVMA itself, as an umbrella for everyone, has to be cautious, just like we do, to not alienate individuals who are involved with the corporate practices. So that's membership committee. Any questions on that? All right, Pam, back to you for your report, and thank you.
Awesome. So our membership numbers as of today, we have 614 veterinarians, 44 students, 51 industry affiliates, and 69 team members. We have one of the things we're doing as far as getting encouraging more practitioners to join is that non-owner veterinarians, their dues are free for the next 2 years. So any of your associates, any veterinarian you know that is not a practice owner, we would love for them to join. That will help us get over that 1,100 number. Our sponsors for the last 12 months these are our sponsors: Care Credit, Auto Remind, Cheshire Partners, Hello Raish, Mango Voice, Safe Hold, and Total Planning. And then our podcast sponsors are Fit Money CPA, Pet Centric Health, United Pet Care, IT Guru, Positive Guidance, Shells Technology, Merchant Cost Consulting, and Review Tree. We're very grateful to our sponsors, and almost every one of these also has a member benefit that they have offered. And I encourage you to take a look at the member benefits page to see which benefits are most useful for your practice. And as far as what we've been up to, this list makes it barely touches what we've actually been up to, but these are the high level items. As you know, that the job board was taken down because it was attacked over and over and over again by bots. The new job board is being installed now and it'll be ready next month. So we're really excited to relaunch that because it has been a benefit that members have missed. Like Dr. Cornelius talked about, the IVPA happy hour. They're doing a fantastic job on that. Grant is a big part of that as well. And Dr. Jacobson has been a big part of that as well. Our newsletter goes out every other month. We did start a social media campaign. When you saw the money in advertising, we do pay a marketing company a monthly contracted amount to do all of our social media posting and some of our other advertising. They're also managing a paid advertising program for us on Facebook. And we get anywhere from 1 to 5 leads a day from that. It's a little challenging for Darty to keep up with reaching out to them in a timely fashion. Our monthly industry affiliate spotlight goes out on a schedule, and we're always soliciting for industries affiliates to submit their information. We're excited to say we're restarting the quarterly virtual CE with our next one, October the 9th. Darty has the marketing program. We reviewed it today. It's ready to go. Dr. LeBlanc, who's on our meeting tonight, is one of our presenters in our October 9th event. So we're excited about restarting CE. And it is, the race application is in. So it'll be 4 CEUs, which will hopefully encourage more attendance. It is free for members to attend. It is listed at $180 for non-members, but all they need to do is join, and then they are free. And our membership levels run from 0 for non-owner veterinarians to a maximum of $180 for the primary practice owner. So hopefully we will get some members out of it. And then the Level the Playing Field Committee has been working really hard this year on getting transactional benefits for the members. They negotiated the Midwest contract, the PSI Covetrus contract, the Amergy contract, and there's another one is, I think, Dr. Steets was just on here, but I think she has dropped off. There's another one that we're getting ready to put into place, just working on the paperwork for that one. And our big focus is member recruiting. Obviously, we need to have transactional benefits because that does get people at least to look at us. But like Dr. Goldman says, the emotional reason to join, the collegiality and the collaboration and getting a representation in governance is an extremely important reason for us to join. So we really could use your help getting the word out, sharing our information and encouraging veterinarians to join. that's the highlights of what we're up to. Any questions, comments? And I do have a question for you. The Amergy agreement on medical waste and all waste disposal, that came about because of a member request. A few members requested, hey, can you get us a deal on medical waste? And so I'd love to hear from you what benefits that we don't currently have would you like?
And as I said in the chat, if anyone would prefer to speak with me privately or Pam privately, feel free to get in touch. My contact info is in the chat. And one other thing, when I introduced all the board members, Jill Stetz, I think I neglected to mention you. I don't think I did. So Jill
You were
Stetz is
here.
with us. She's also on the board.
And Jill, do you recall the name of the benefit we're getting ready to put in? It may not have been you that emailed me about it.
I think that was somebody else. I'm not sure. So sorry.
That's okay.
Thank you. Does anyone have any questions at all? We're coming up on half an hour. That's a pretty good track record, I think, for meeting length. Upcoming board meetings are listed, I believe, on the agenda, just so you kind of know when we meet. If somebody would like to be a guest at a board meeting, just get in touch and we'll make that possible. And any other business that anybody care to raise? Well, then we are adjourned, and I thank every one of you for attending. Please talk us up to your colleagues and your friends. We need to grow our membership. Oh, let's see. There's something here in the chat. Let's see what it says. Oh, well, thank you. You're all welcome.
And I do want to mention that Kathy Lawler's company handles our website, and they're actually sponsoring the job board. So very kind of them to take care of that.
Thank you, Kathy. Well, I'm not going to be the first to sign off. We are adjourned.
You're welcome. I couldn't. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye. It was good to see you all.